Hi, it's Olivia, and 2020 is upon us, and I think there's a lot of people out there who have big goals, big plans, big hopes for 2020. So I have some kind of inspirational quotes that I really love and I think could really fit 2020, and hopefully if you enjoy them, they'll stick with you for the year. The first quote that I have is actually a lyric from a song by Nipsey Hussle. The song is called Dedication. Great song, by the way, I recommend it. And I'm sure he's not the first person to say this or a version of this, but I really like how it sounds in the song, and it says, "Minor setback for major comeback. That's my favorite." It sounds weird to say it like that without kind of trying to rap it like he does. This quote just really resonates with me because it makes you feel like your setbacks aren't the end of the world. If you're like me also, 2019, maybe you didn't live up to your goals that you had. There's a lot of goals that I didn't get accomplished this year, and it feels like there's a lot of setbacks this year, and this just makes me feel like it's not the end. This next quote I think is really good for people who are really thinking about what the future holds for them, like what path are they going to take in life. This is by Jim Carrey. He said this at a commencement speech a few years ago, and he says, "So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality." I'm focusing specifically on that last part, fear disguised as practicality. I think what I took away from this is telling yourself not to do the things that you truly desire to do because of X, Y, and Z. All of these, it's not the safe thing to do, it's not the responsible or practical thing to do. There's all these excuses that come up to hold you back, but really are you just scared to kind of take the leap and just do what you want to do? I feel like I didn't say that well. He said it best, fear disguised as practicality. The third quote comes from a contemporary romance book that came out this year that you might have heard of called Red, White, and Royal Blue. There is this one kind of iconic line from the book that says, "History, huh? Bet we can make some." I chose this quote because 2020, aside from its cool number, it does seem like it has the possibility of being a truly historic year in the US, outside the US. I just really like keeping this in mind heading into 2020. Maybe you'll keep it in mind as you want to take part in something that might be historic. Maybe you want to take part, maybe you're voting for the first time in this big election that's coming up, or maybe it's something in your personal life that is going to be a historic thing, a very memorable thing. I don't know, but this just makes me feel like, hey, why don't I do something that's memorable? Why don't I be part of something that's bigger than me and memorable? I don't know. Like I said, these quotes explain it better than myself. This fourth quote is definitely something that I have kept with me for a while, and it's always in the back of my mind, and it says, "Don't tell people your plans, show your results." Maybe not everyone agrees with that, but if you're like me, this definitely speaks volumes. I consider myself someone with big dreams and big goals and plans, and it's really easy to be discouraged once you share them, or at least that's one of the first things I take away from that. There's all this doubt that starts to come in from people just by sharing your plans, and sometimes that doubt kills the dream before it even starts, honestly. There's people who will tell you straight up are you sure you should be doing this? Are you sure that this goal is achievable? I really feel like sometimes the only thing getting you through is your own motivation. And when you tell people your plans, there are sometimes people who are just negative. Maybe they don't mean to be, but they're negative. They're not encouraging you, they're just kind of doubting you, and that doesn't help anything. So sometimes it's just, I can understand this, it's best to not share them, and then it feels kind of nice when you achieve something and you say, hey, by the way, I accomplished this. This last quote is an excerpt from The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, because I'm being 100% serious. Winnie the Pooh says some beautiful things. So the excerpt goes, "What day is it?" asked Winnie the Pooh. "It's today," squeaked Piglet. "My favorite day," said Pooh. And I know it's simple, but I love it. It's such a simple way to show gratitude for today. Your favorite day is every day. Every day is a new day. Just take of that what you will. I really love that little piece from The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And that is where I end this video. Please feel free to share your own inspiring quotes in the comments, and if you see another one that you like in the comments, like it, I look forward to that. And I wish you a wonderful 2020, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.